Hello, welcome to Tokusatsu Thursdays. Today, we're reviewing Gamera 2 Attack of Legion, which was the sequel to Gamera Guardian of the Universe, I think. Which is part of the Gamera 90s trilogy, where in the 90s, they brought back Gamera, right? Who is a sea turtle kaiju monster who can fly and shoot fireballs, right? And his mode of flying is pretty cool. He can either he can like a turtle can retract its limbs and head. When he does that, he can shoot jets of air to fly around. So he has like two flight modes. One where he's like a spinning like a top, right? And the second one where he just pops his legs in, and then he can like fly through the air like a plane, and his arms will turn into like wings, kind of like yeah, like the sea turtle fins, right? Which is so weird because he normally has like claws, and then his arms change shape, man. It's like super weird. So yeah, this is directed by the same guy who directed the first film, Shusuke Kaneko, and according to Google, Shinji Higuchi helped. This is distributed by Toho, and it stars Miki Mizuno as Midori Hinami, Toshiyuki Nagashima as Colonel Watasare, Tamotsu Ishibashi as Hanatani, and you have Ayoko Fujitani as Asagi Kusanagi, who was one of the stars of the first film, right? And also Akiji Kobayashi has a cameo in the movie as a soldier, even though he's like 60 something years old in the movie. Which, if people don't know who he is, he's like the professor in both the original Kamen Rider and Ultraman. Which is like, I saw that guy and is that who I think it is? According to Google, it is, right? So this film takes place a year after the first film, which I did do a review of this movie, right? On this channel, where I reviewed another movie while I was playing a video game or something. So if you want to know my thoughts on the first film, well, I liked it. I think I gave it a 7 out of 10, right? So this movie is about which I liked that the film took place during the winter, right? It starts off in Hokkaido, right? And you don't really see a lot of winter, Japanese films, right? Or maybe there are lots, and I just haven't seen it. But it's like I said, it's kind of cool to see a winter horror film. So in the events, the movie, there's a freak meteor shower, right? And that happens in Japan, and an asteroid lands, and the military and the science center go to investigate, and they can't find the meteor, right? And it turns out what the meteor was carrying was a giant insect monster and a bunch of smaller ones, right? And you really get a Starship Troopers feel with the monsters, because they look, the one they use practical effects. It's like people in suits or puppets, right? And they look, the monster designs look cool, way better than a lot of monsters you would see on Ultraman or Godzilla films, right? And yeah, so at first it's just the smaller monsters, the smaller insect monsters, who they name Legion, and they straight up quote the Bible, right? Because if people know, there's a demon named Legion in the Bible, right? Which is also the name. There's Legion is also in Exorcist 3. Right, and also if you ever played the Shin Megami Tensei games, which his design kind of sucks, but Yeah, not in the movie, in the game, video games, right? So what happens in the movie? The first half of the movie is our science, like two military scientist guys teaming up with this female science at this science center, and they're trying to figure out, okay, what's going on with the aliens, right? And they figure out these insect aliens. They figure out all these insect aliens are here to conquer the world, right? They're gonna terraform it, and then they're gonna launch like a seed into space to also attack like other planets, right? So what ends up happening is Gamera shows up to fight the monsters, right? Which he gets his butt kicked by the smaller monsters, and then he gets his ass whooped by the larger monster, right? And the battle damage during the fights was awesome, man. Like Gamera's getting cut here and there. I want the giant Legion monster can shoot like a fucking beam cannon, and it blows like a hole. It burns Gamera's left shoulder, and like you can see like a hole, like you can see it leaves like a hole through his shell, right? And yeah, so like and obviously he kind of dies for a little bit, but like but for the power of friendship, he's resurrected, and you have the military, the SDF, and Gamera fight to team up to fight the Legion, right? Which the military actually does some damage in the movie. Which like usually the military in these movies are useless unless they use like a secret weapon or something, which they do kind of have a secret weapon against the smaller ones, right? And yeah, the movie I felt well the costumes were great, the monster battles were great. Kind of would have liked to have seen more action scenes with soldiers fighting the smaller insects, right? Which are like the size of a person, but the one main guy in the film, Colonel Watarase, you see him have like a close combat, like gunfight with one of the monsters near the end of the movie, which was pretty cool, right? Yeah, and and also I forget to mention. I mean, I am kind of a noob when it comes to Gamera films because I've never seen the original, but I think in this film he uses a new attack, like because he uses an attack in this film that I never saw in any of the other in the first Gamera film, right? And I saw a little bit of the original, right? Which we'll review the original at some point. But yeah, like this, in my opinion, this movie was great. Even though it's been a while since I've seen a kaiju film, but I was getting a little burnout from kaiju movies, but like this one was good because I like my favorite kind of sci-fi films are where not just big sci-fi battles or whatever, but where scientists come together, characters come together and they have to solve a problem, and you have that here. And the film also reminded me a lot of that 90s sci-fi film I reviewed on the channel, Lifeform, which I think came out in 1997, or like a year after this. But that one also had an insect alien monster, right? And it has the guy from Seven and not Ryan Davis, the guy from Jackass who died. He has a bit part as a soldier, right? So yeah, I like this movie and I totally recommend it, and it's on Tubi for free. So 7 out of 10. Next week we'll try to review like a kaiju, not kaiju, regular tokusatsu film. All right, peace.